It is an honor and a pleasure to share the stage with someone who we watched for a very long time. Now, she is fine, okay? She is fine, has been in the business a long time, but we are so excited to share the E stage tonight with none other than award-winning, come on somebody, Sheryl Ralph, fly as wine, doing her thing. Sora, thank you for saying yes to the people tonight. How are you? How you doing? You're looking good with that red lip. Talk to us.
You know I love a good red lip. That's my thing. Red Lips by Sheryl Ralph. I'm telling you, it should be a line. Yes, it should be.
That might be prophetic. Come on.
Come on now. You know what? I tell you, right about now, I'm casual because I literally just got off a plane. I was in New York and I flew down to Savannah, where I'm getting ready to start a film with Bette Midler and Susan Sarandon down here as part of the SAG-AFTRA interim agreement. You know that we're on strike. Yes. The writers have just wrapped up their strike, but the actors are still on strike. And we created an agreement that says if the smaller independent companies can studios do the same thing. So I'm part of one of those films that is matching the now and current needs of actors. And we start work next week. And I literally got off the plane, went to my fitting, had my physical, came to the hotel and sat down and started to get on. So there you have it.
Well, let me just say, I've got to start by telling the folks this. I met Sheryl Ralph as a young lady. We are members of Delta Sigma Theta. So shout out to all the Sister Greeks. I see all the Sister Greeks in the house. We got AAs, we got Deltas, we got Zetas on the line. We got SG Rose on the line. This Sisterhood love is amazing. I see our affiliates that are joining. We got board members on here. I mean, we got everybody's here to see you, Sheryl Ralph. And I just want to hold my audio up. This is what I'm in the car. And I was a young whippersnapper when I met this beautiful woman. I was there in Las Vegas in 2004 and remember getting a chance to just sit with you as you were doing a lot of HIV activism work and literally changing the game of activism and artistry. And so to see you now, a few years later, I'm no longer that young whippersnapper, but I am feeling so good about this moment for you and having a chance to watch you do this work. I see you as a kid. That's my AKA girlfriend from Virginia. I see you, girl. Yes, it's Sheryl Ralph. She's here. Go ahead. Put in the chat. I see y'all. I see you all. Look at the top ladies. Look at them. They're going crazy, Sheryl Ralph. All for you.
Thank you.
So this is a full circle moment for me because I feel like Black women have been your sisters. Like you have been our mom, you've been our aunts, you've been the teacher that we all had in Philly. Come on, somebody. My son is 9 years old now and literally is watching Abbott Elementary like it is Cosby Show. And we waiting to see what you're gonna say every time. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for being, I see you in the chat. She is a queen. You are a queen. You have such beauty. You have such grace. So we got to talk about this book because it's happening. I mean, this Diva 2.0 is serious. My folks have already been hitting me up like, girl, chapter 9. Ooh, project 9. I'm like, wait, what? Don't tell me. I got to get to the part of the book. And yes, I see y'all. It is fire. The book is fire. Chicago's in the house to see you. And I want to just say, this opportunity to talk about you being a diva. So now that we're learning more about you and how you look at this diva stuff, this is major. You have a real niche for this. So I want to start with these questions because there's some etymology of this word diva that we learned about, right? And this is goddess. And you wrote this book to help people channel the diva in them. At one point, you talk about this, that this kind of context for goddess, like when you go through this word etymology, you understand that divas are not born. So can you talk to us about this, right? How did you get to that place? And why
But
are you the ultimate diva?
for me, diva is all about being divinely inspired, victoriously alive, aware, awesome. And
Woo,
if it were Sunday, we would be anointed, diva.
anointed.
So it's far more than just big hair and bad attitude.
Yeah.
It's so easy for everybody to hear the word diva and think of a haughty, bad-mannered, ill-tempered woman. I
Mm,
say no. A true diva, she is a goddess. She
yeah.
is a wonderful woman. She uses what she has for the best of everybody. And a diva doesn't have to ask for a whole lot because people want to give it to her.
Yes.
Yes. So I
Goodness.
say embrace the best diva that you have inside of you. Let her out. Get rid of all that nasty, ugly stuff. Embrace the good that is inside of you.
Oh,
That's what diva means for me. And it's also the name of my foundation, the
yeah.
Diva Foundation. Yes.
One of your board members just shouted you out. Barbara Bonarise, I see you all the way in California. Hey, Barbara. We see you. We see the Diva board members in the house. Phi Delta Kappa is here. Come on, top ladies of distinction. I mean, you've got sisters hitting us up from all over the country, Sheryl. And I love this Diva context. Alive, that A for alive and anointed. I'm gonna add it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm here for the anointing because you talk about yourself being Mrs. Divalicious. Can you tell me about that? Why are you Divalicious? Tell us.
I think, and this is what I say to every woman. A woman must keep it joyful and a woman must keep it juicy. We cannot allow ourselves to dry up from the inside out. We must keep that warmth and wonderful thing that we have. I have got to tell you, Black women have been doing the blessed thing of carrying on through the worst of times and living through the best of times because they understand to appreciate what the bad has meant and to get through it and look on the other side and say, and I am still here. You got to keep it joyful. You got to keep it juicy. Divalicious.
Is there a t-shirt for this J&J? Oh my gosh, joyful and juicy. For all the sisters in the room, we got some young ones on here. I see one of our young ladies is on here, some 16-year-olds. We got some high schoolers on here. That's how relevant you are, Shirley Ralph. Joyful,
thank you,
juicy. So now let me dig a little bit further because one of the things that, and as we were really going through the book itself, you talk about at an early age giving up your creative rights to Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
And explain, that experience in terms of investments and understanding that experience. You talk about the story of Project 9. And I'm not going to say anymore because you got to get the book. You got to get the book with the code. You got to get the book with the code. We'll talk about that later. But you talk about the story of how Project 9 came about. And you say that you signed over your rights. How do you feel this could have been different if you were not a young Black woman? Do you feel like your experience would have been different?
It would be easy to say yes, except for the same thing happened to the cast of a musical called A Chorus Line. And A Chorus Line, they literally took their stories, very similar to what happened with us in Dreamgirls, and they made this incredible show. The difference is the company that was in A Chorus Line, they sued. They did a class action suit and they got paid. They were like, don't act like you forgot. Pay us what you owe us.
Pay us.
And they got paid. But the cast and the company of Dreamgirls decided not to do that. And therefore, there has been nothing for us, as Dreamgirls has gone on to be so incredible in so many people's lives. It's just, sometimes I think to myself, maybe you should have done something. Maybe you should have said something more. But I did what I did. I said what I did. And in some ways, I'm a Sankofa bird. I'm going to go back to get what was taken from me. And when I look at where I am now, I think I've gotten that and more.
That might preach. I went back and took what the devil stole from me, and now look at how you're sitting.
Thank you.
With blessings. I see some sisters in the chat saying, Sister Cynthia said, I'm still watching your Designing Women episodes. Come on, somebody. Shirley Ralph is here tonight. We're here with the National Council of Negro Women on a live chat with one of the most accomplished, most beautiful persons inside and out. And someone who has definitely opened up her heart and her experiences to the world. Now, I want to move a little bit further into this conversation about trauma. Mm-hmm. And racism, mm-hmm. and thinking about Black women, and the traumas that we experience as young people. You mm-hmm. share a story about being a fourth grader, right? You talk a little bit about being a student, being the only Black student in your school in the fourth grade. Talk to us about that experience. And you make this serious statement about Black women working harder than any other race. Now, let me just hold that for a moment. Let's just sit. I want to answer to that moment. Black mm-hmm. women working harder than any other women, and thinking about your trauma. Talk to us about that experience. And then why do you say we work harder than any other race?
Well, when I was in the fourth grade, I'm a child of integration, and that I think there was like, I always think of like the little stamp, the only Black girl, the only one, right. And I think about, I can see myself, little Black me in my suit, my navy blazer, my white shirt and tie, my plaid skirt, my navy socks, my brown shoes, standing at those huge iron gates every morning and passing through those gates and knowing that the only Black person I was going to see for the rest of the day was me. That was it. Woo. That was it. Woo. And I think about when you talk about trauma, and I didn't realize the trauma until I got older and opened myself up to reliving it. Because that's something about writing a book. It's like you have to face what it is. And I'm real good at, I'll forget it. It'll happen and I'll go back. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, that really happened. And I remember the awful things that were said to me as a child, and not just by the children, but by the adults too. And that I learned, sometimes when I look at certain people on TV just lying, just straight up lying, just we got the tapes, we got the pictures, we've got the audio recordings, and you're just gonna lie about it. And I saw that as a child. People lie.
They lie.
They bold-faced lies. And they look right at you and lie, and then look at you and say, now you are a liar. Whoa. I think in some ways, I do not know if I'll ever get over it, but I have experienced it. And I know that people will say awful things. It's like our whole country right now. Somebody just said gaslighting. Our whole country, there's a whole section of people that have been gaslit and don't even realize what's going on with them. And it's like, can you open your eyes? But it was horrible. It was horrible. But one of the great things that happened for me and to me is one of the teachers, she did something awful, and you can read the book and you'll know what happened. And maybe 2 or 3 years later, I saw her, this nun with these piercing blue-green eyes. And she apologized to me. And she said, I'm sorry. I did not know any better. I did not know any better. And to this day, the number of times when you have to, I was up for a project and they couldn't figure out how to pay me. They could not figure out how to pay Black female me. And I had to say to my lawyer, to my agent, to my people and them, I said, bring them all together.
Yes.
Bring him, bring his folks, bring us all together. And I had to tell that man who I was and help him see and understand my worth. There was silence in the room when I finished. I was about ready to hang up. I thought it was over. And then this man says, I never thought of it that way. He never thought of it that way. Did not think about my worth, my value, and what I meant to whatever the project was, right? But I knew my worth. And I was like, before I leave this, because see, when we walk away, what happens without saying anything is we give them the opportunity to just put somebody else in there who does not know the history and is happy to do it for less.
For less.
And I said, no, you're going to know what I feel about myself and what I bring to this table, this conversation, this project. So all I'm saying is know your worth, know who you are. Do not be afraid to speak about it. And like an incredible woman once told me, find the notes in the song that people want to hear. Sometimes we get so excited and we want to be, no, find the words and say, blah, 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 blah. Are you listening? Wonderful. Da, 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 da. And we are finished. And that is what I wanted to share with you. And make them hear you. They've got to hear you. And sometimes, you know, darling, last night, I had cocktails with Donatella Versace. And yes, darling, they dressed me in Versace. It was lovely.
Versace.
And I tell you, someone asked me, what have you done for other women? And I said, well, let me tell you about what I've done for other women who look like me.
Yeah.
I was on a project and they were all non-Black people, right? And I had to say, you know, if you hire Black women to head up your departments here, especially your hair and makeup departments, everybody will be covered because we must do everybody. We are trained to do everything.
Yes.
Non-Black people are only required, and this is the truth, they are only required to do themselves. When you pass this state board for hair and makeup and all of that, it is not required to be able to braid, crimp, curl, all of that stuff. It's not a requirement. So they never learn it, but we learn it all.
Love it.
So I said, look at it this way. You hire Black women, everybody's covered. If you hire white women, then you're going to have to bring somebody in for me, and that will take more out of your bottom line. They understood that. Guess what the department is? Black women. Sometimes you just got to say something.
Yeah.
Say something. So when I walk into the room sometimes and I see my sisters around me, I'm like, hello.
Greetings, sis.
Greetings. Let me welcome you. And we cannot be afraid to speak up for each other.
Yeah.
We must be able, especially when we know our sister is ready, especially when we know our sister is qualified. We must be willing to speak up for her, and we must be willing to back her no matter what. There are a whole lot of people out there back a whole lot of people not worth spit.
Not spit.
Not worth spit. And they back them, push them. We got to stand up. And that's why this organization is very important. The National Council of Negro, Colored, Black, African American women of the diaspora, all
That's
of that
right.
is so blessed important. We got to be there for ourselves, and we got to bring our daughters, our nieces into this so that they understand the power of all of us working together, all of us supporting each other, because we have got to have a place that when we have issues, we can call up and say, I need help. And to know that the army is coming. I'm telling you, it's very important, especially now when things like when you walk, I walk through the airports all the time, and we hardly acknowledge each other anymore. I remember when I was little, and you know, when your parents would dress up and it was Sunday after church and they would walk and they would see each other, and it was the simple, I see you.
That's right.
I recognize you. I acknowledge you. Nobody else might have done it today, but I see you. Oh, honey, please.
Out here,
it's important.
I need some oil. I mean, this is too much. The beauty of this, the chat is going crazy, because I think what you're tapping into is a lost art of our people, and especially the sisterhood, right? Black womanhood. That's a sisterhood. And I don't think that we often understand the magnitude of connection, and the magnitude of this idea of the speak up. And let me just go with what you're saying with speaking up for others. I think about Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, and I go, man, she got it. She got it in 1935. She said, wait a minute. We just got some of us got the right to vote, right? So since that wasn't Black women, let me figure out how to bring us together. And that's the beauty of what we're talking about today. And you just tapped into what I think Black women are really opening up themselves for. And that is being okay with saying no when it's not good enough. Come on, talk. Come on. I know you got something. Come on, give me the no.
Be all right with saying no when it is not meeting your needs. And sometimes you just don't walk away. You have to make sure they understand why it is a no. There's nothing wrong with leaving. I will leave a tragic situation. I will leave a toxic situation. I will leave. Sometimes we get into these relationships and we know it is not what we want. We know it is not what we deserve. And sometimes the relationship is with yourself.
Woo.
Sometimes you are in a bad relationship with yourself. And you refuse to let go of what you know is not good for you. And very often we want to turn around and say it's somebody else. It's something else. No, sometimes you need to look in the mirror and realize it's you, because it starts with you. The moment you look in the mirror and love what you see, honor what you see, respect what you see, empower what you see, lift up what you see, you will not take anything less from anybody else. And that will not have it.
Yeah, you did a little bit of that speech when you won that beautiful award, when you talked about, look, come on, we saw the clip. We were there watching that night with that ponytail speaking back to us. Come on, fly. Yes, you were. And you talked about looking in the mirror and being good with who you see. Yes. And to me, that's this Diva that you're defining. That's what we're talking about. The chat, the gold nuggets, and let the church say amen. Yes, the church is saying amen across the country. The United Church of the Sisterhood tonight. Because
thank you.
That is what we are experiencing as Black women in this country. Now, I got to ask you another question about this book, because I really want to know your intentions. Why did you write this? And what do you want the reader to walk away with?
Something I tell people this, I say, I don't look like my journey. Everybody, they look at you and they think, oh, well, she has never been through anything. She doesn't know about this. She doesn't understand. And I'm like, I do not look like my journey. And that is all right. But let me tell you a few things. Let me share some things with you. Let me shine a light so that you don't have to fall in some of these holes. You don't have to get lost for 40 years when where you need to be is right down the road, that you can make some great choices for yourself by just being informed just a little bit, by just recalibrating your thinking. You know, I am so fascinated about how there are so many wonderful people locked inside of themselves.
Yes, yes.
They get up in life and they have all of this wonderful stuff inside of them, and they refuse to let it out. They refuse to share it with the world. They refuse to share it with themselves. Josephine Baker said it. They said she said life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving.
Oh my gosh. Woo.
Starving. I mean, I see people sometimes and I'm just like, I can see the light.
Yeah.
I can see it. And they're like, what are you talking about? What?
Fun.
And I'm like, you have no idea. You really are not opening yourself up to your best self. What? A lot of times I find that people, you know, remember that song Erykah Badu sang, Bag Lady, why don't you put that luggage down? Put it down. And if you were to open up some of this luggage, we have packed it full of all of these lies that people have told us, and we have let it become our truth. So I wrote it because these are just my little truths. Yeah. So maybe if they can help you, wonderful. Read, share it, give it away. You know, I keep a picture in my house that was painted by a young man who had no arms and 2 deformed legs. And he painted this painting that was so intricate and beautiful of people on a journey. And I look at that every day and I think to myself, what can't you do, Sheryl Lee Ralph? What can't you do? Because look what he did. He's got no arms. He's up there painting with his foot, painting with her mouth and making beauty. I'm like,
and my God. What are we talking about? Come on. Hey. Well, I will tell you, I've got one more question before we talk about the campaign. What's next for Sheryl Lee Ralph? I see now that you're in Savannah, you talked about that. What else is going on for you? What's coming up? What should we expect from you?
You know something? Let's see. When it comes to, November, the 33rd Diva Simply Singing.
Okay.
Diva Simply Singing in Los Angeles. I started that in memory of the many friends that I had lost to AIDS. And it was a living memorial. I cannot believe that I've been doing it 33 years and I'm only 33 myself.
Yes, honey.
But we're doing it again. And literally every year I pick up my phone, I call people. I called up Wayne Brady. I said, Wayne Brady, come on, sing on this stage. He said, Sheryl Lee Ralph, I'd love to be on stage with you. I'd love that. I just keep calling people up and they say, yes, I'm coming. That's how it happens. And then I got a call from Michael Feinstein asking me if I would do Carnegie Hall with him. And I was just like, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do Carnegie Hall with you. So on November 19th, Diva Simply Singing, December 13th, Carnegie Hall. And hopefully in January, we will be back to working on Abbott Elementary. Woo! Oh my God, I'm looking forward to it. I actually miss my cast.
Do you miss the cast?
So corny.
Are you all having that much fun? Is it that good?
We like working with each other. Yeah. It's amazing. I always tell people, if you have a job that you don't like, quit. Please quit it. Please quit the job, leave the job, get another job for yourself where you can be happy going to work. because I've been in situations where it was like, oh no, I gotta leave this place. And now I'm in a place where it's like, no, I gotta stay right here.
Oh my.
And I'm having the best time with the people I work with. It's great.
Oh gosh. Well, I will say this. There's a little bit of a special announcement that we want to make tonight. And we've got folks on the line from clearly multiple organizations. We are on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So we are hitting it up. Thank you all for this love in the chat. And look, if you're here, share this on Facebook Live. Go ahead and forward it now. Put it on all of your pages, because Sheryl Lee Ralph just preached an entire sermon. We are going to pass the plate tonight because the word has come forth from this prophet they call Sheryl Lee Ralph. And look, we are looking forward to all of the activities and events. I remember when you first started doing those monologues. I remember that. And hearing about what you were doing. Excited about this. Excited about Abbott Elementary. I'm believing that because I know my house is ready to see Philadelphia on the map again. Y'all had Jim Gardner on there. We didn't know what to do. We saw Jim Gardner. So for the people that don't know, if you're from the Philadelphia area, we call it the Delaware Valley. We grew up watching Action News, and Abbott Elementary is nothing but a hometown show for many of us. So we love seeing all the references and all the fun that you all are having. And it's just so wholesome to see you, hear me, the wife, the mother, the teacher, the poised, beautiful woman, the black don't crack woman, because you look good on the show too. So we love all of it. Now, I've got a special announcement for those that are watching. I want to talk to my NCNW folks first. For those of you that are in sections, listen, we're going to start our NCNW section competition with Diva 2.0. And let me tell you what we're doing. We're working on a challenge to sell, right? Each section across the country. Your challenge is to sell more than $300 worth of books. All right. And whatever section sells the most books, you will be in line for the raffle to receive a book talk with Sheryl Lee Ralph for your section on Zoom. So all I got to say, you can use the link that's in the chat. Now, listen, get ready. Don't go out, get out ahead of me. Now, we're starting this October the 1st. All right, October the 1st. You can use the link that's in the chat right now. And I think they're going to put it in the chat. They've already started doing it. Okay, I see it. Thank you so much. It'll start October 1st through the end of November. We got 2 months, folks. And then we're going to send information to each section. For those that are not members of a section, don't worry. You can still participate, because this beautiful sister thought it not robbery to also offer some proceeds to NCNW. And let me just tell you why that's so beautiful for us. When you think about the work that we've been doing, equal pay for Black women, Medicaid redetermination, getting families back on the roll for healthcare, freedom to learn where they've been banning books. We've been pushing out voting rights, advocacy, the ACP, trying to keep broadband discrimination down and connecting Black people. And one of the most beautiful things we just sponsored is this bill passed by Bonnie Watson Coleman and Ilhan Omar, which is this act towards protecting and supporting families of missing and murdered Black women and girls. Let me just take a breath there, because we were just able to co-sponsor that with those two sisters from the Congressional Black Caucus last Thursday. And I want to shout out the families in Minnesota, the sister Brittany's family, who was murdered by a luring boyfriend. And Minnesota has already done this. And now we're trying to make this a federal plan where we have an office that focuses solely on the protection and support of families of missing and murdered Black women and girls. And because of a partnership with the Sheryl Lee Ralph, her proceeds support these programs. So I'm asking you, my sisters and brothers that are on the line, I'm asking you to think about the Brittany Clarity family who lost someone. I'm asking you to think about those children who won't see our history. Support Sheryl Lee Ralph, because when you support her, you support NCNW. When you support her, you know you're supporting Black women in a room. When you support her, you are supporting a woman of integrity, a woman of justice, and a woman who has divine grace. So I'm telling you tonight, it has been a crazy night. We've had a chance to see one of the most beautiful faces in Hollywood. And when they told her no, God said yes. And I hope you see this with Shirley Ralph's face on the screen. It doesn't matter where you are in life. God's timing is always right.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, Shirley Ralph, you have made Black women very proud. You are our sister. You are not only my soror, but our D9 soror. You are a wife, a mother, and you do it so, so well. So I want to give you a chance tonight to give us some closing remarks. If you could tell the sisters tonight how to prepare for this journey, how will you close out tonight's talk?
Oh, first of all, to everybody that's gathered here this evening, thank you so much. There are a lot of things you could have done. There are a lot of places you could have been, but you chose to be here with us. And I appreciate it very much. I want you to know that the work that this organization does for all of us women of color, it is important. Because when we talk about the sisterhood, ooh, we need to know, and you heard me say it before, we need to know that there is a place that we can go to be heard, to be understood, and to be accepted. And I want to encourage all of us to reclaim this space for us.
Yes.
We should be in sisterhood and connection with women around this world. They should know we hear you. We see you. I've traveled to places like Africa where the only other women they see is the white woman coming to give them and share with them. But when the Black woman walks in, and they look at her and say, Ma, where have you been? This is us.
Us.
We've got to own this and respect this. And it starts by loving and respecting ourselves. The simple act of looking into your mirror, get into a good relationship with what you see. Respect her. Encourage her. Talk to her. Bless her. Say nice things to her and about her. Get rid of the negative. That's other people's problems.
Ooh.
You got no space for that. Let it go. Hold on to the good that you know that is inside of you and let it out. Because believe it or not, you really, really matter. And if you were not here tomorrow or within the next hour, something would change for someone. You are important. Start living your life like you are somebody. Because what did Viola Davis say? You is kind, you is smart, you is wonderful, you is beautiful, you is fabulous, you is magnificent, you are divinely inspired, victoriously alive.
Yes.
Live your life. Live your life with intention, good intention, and on purpose. Live your life. You got this. Sojourner Truth had it. Mary McLeod Bethune had it.
Come on.
I mean, Angela Davis still has it.
Still got it.
Tyson had it. Harriet Tubman had it. Michelle Obama has it. And Barack too. You got this.
Got this.
And we know how to climb mountains And we know what it's like to see from the mountaintop, because we've been there. And if you haven't been there, come on, let's go. You grab some young person and take her with you. Show her. Y'all talk about these young girls. Don't talk about them, teach them. Because a lot of them don't have anybody to teach them, because a lot of them have a lot of knuckleheads around them and nobody to show them a way. Show them the way.
Come on.
The light. Now, I know I just said a whole lot and I really should have been short and succinct about it, but I was not. But you understand everything I'm saying. We got this. Somebody did it for me and I'm going to do it for others. I cannot help it. Yeah. Just go on and do it.
Yeah. You just got to go in and do it. I mean, well, no, you can't be short because the church is about to go crazy in here. We are the First Baptist Church of God in Christ, AME situation tonight. It's been out of control. I got to do it again. So don't forget the competition for this book, Diva 2.0. There is a link. There is a special NCNW link. We're going to put it in the chat again. We're going to email it out. We're going to put it on social all over. And listen, for my sections, you are in the section competition. Starts on Sunday. Come on the Sabbath. Let's get ready. We're going to get it out. The link to purchase is right there. We're up. Somebody's already ordered. They just tell us we're ordering the books right now. Come on and order these books. Some proceeds from those books do come. You got to use the special link. Again, the winning section will get a special online conversation with the one and only Shirley Ralph. And listen, if you're not in the section, don't worry. You can still participate. You are supporting Shirley Ralph and NCNW when you use our link. Please, please, please keep us posted.
And that's what we want people to do. We want them, Siobhan, we keep saying this. We want you to use the link.
Yes.
I know some people, they say, well, I bought it before. Well, that doesn't count. That was then. Buy it again and share it with some young person or whatever. Put it in your office, whatever it is you do. I have to tell you, sometimes when you do good, people say, why are you doing good? Why are you doing that? You got to do good sometimes because good's got to be done.
Got to be done.
Sometimes, can just think about if all of us just gave $100, and we're not asking you for $100.
Right.
Just think if all of us gave just $100, the difference we would be able to make. So I'm not asking you for that. And what I'm going to give is what I'm going to give because it's important, because the work that is being done by the NCNW, I believe in it, and it's important. And we all have to find our ways to get certain things done. So I'm just saying, you don't have to buy one, you can buy 10. You can buy 10 books and give them to a group of young people. You know, you can buy 5, but we have an assignment and we know what the assignment is and we're going to get it done. And I have the ability to say, look, I'm going to give you part of my proceeds to make this happen because I believe in it. So that's why we partnered in all of this to make it happen. And you've got an amazing president here that is open to your thoughts and ideas.
Absolutely.
An organization like this has been around for all of these years because the sisterhood understands that we grow together. Black women have been holding these organizations together for over 100 years and close to 100 years.
That's right.
That is a major feat. That means we have the capability of doing outstanding things.
Yes.
We're not fading into the sunset. We're not acting like we don't count. We're showing up. We're stepping up. and I'm stepping up with you, and we're just gonna get it done.
It's
my little way of helping to get it done.
Well, it's a big way for us, and we are grateful for it. Again, the link is put in the chat. Please use the special link to purchase. I see you all sending some books to Florida. Come on now. That's what I want to hear. And shout out to everybody. Thank you all for the love. I love you all too. We are really at a real precipice in our organization and in this country right now. And I believe God has put this together for something special. So again, my sections, get ready, get that link ready, get it out during your section meetings. For those that are not members, first of all, we need your membership. Come on and become a member of NCNW. Come on, stop playing. Come on and join us. We want to see you in sections or be a direct member where you can join us in this fight. Go to ncnw.org to get more information about what we're doing. Please follow us. Social media, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, formerly known as Twitter. We're going to figure out X thing, whatever. Anyway, and we are also making sure that the word is getting out. If you're not getting our emails, you're missing out on all things that are happening in this country. So, Shirley Ralph, I love you to pieces. I thank you for what you have done for us tonight, for your support with this book. But also, I love all the folks online, for all of my sisters that are here. This Sisterhood of Black Womanness, it's my favorite sisterhood, because Black Womanness is a place and space where God gets to do his best work with this creation called Black Woman. And so with that, it's almost 30 minutes after the hour. Get your rest, East Coast, West Coast, get your dinner, Central, put the babies down. I'm gonna go home. I love y'all. I'm still at the office because I was not missing. I had to speak before I came here, and I left to come see my sister, Shirley Ralph. God bless you. Safe travels, Shirley Ralph. Get some rest. Love you all. God bless you all. To my friends, my family, my sisters, all on the line, I see you all. Go get this book. Follow the link. Follow us online. # NCNW Strong. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
You.
Black woman strong. Love you.